Happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome to Pupism Session for today is August 6th, 2024. And as always, we need hope for the session. Now, just a quick run back. Hope is an expectation or desire for something to happen. Now, today we're going to be using that hope and learning our question, how to form a conviction, but more specifically, how to form a spiritual conviction. Now, this is about to be a fun session. Now, as always, before we start learning how to form a strong spiritual conviction, we should probably identify our current stats. Now, before we even do that, I want to present a term that will probably be hand in hand with this session: belief. Now, the definition of belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. Now, just keep that in mind while we are watching this session. Okay, so the question now is, how do we identify our current spiritual stats? Well, let me ask you a couple questions. What do you believe in? Who are you? You know, like when you're all alone in your bedroom and there's nothing around you, no people, no anything, no activity, where does your head go? You know, who really are you? Now, a lot of people kind of struggle with this because maybe they never thought about it before, but I'll be entertaining, streaming, and I'll casually ask people, give me a sentence that contains 10 words that's kind of complex, maybe no one understands it, but that best describes you. And a lot of people can't do this. I guess a lot of people don't really think about themselves, even though I feel like that's a fun activity. But a lot of people don't even really think about, who are you? Who am I? So since some of you might not fully understand what spirit actually is, before we understand what spirit is, we should probably learn what it is. Okay, so before we start any spiritual learnings, I just want everyone to understand that the spiritual learnings, the spiritual world is very hard to understand. What I mean by that is, as humans in this life, we can see evidence of the physical world improving. We can see evidence of the mental world improving, but the spiritual world has no measurement, right? So if I'm working out and I'm running, I will probably lose weight. If I'm learning a class in school, when I get a test and I get all the answers right, that's proof that I learned something. But in the spiritual world, there's no measurement. There's no really proof out there in this physical world that we can see that there's an improvement going on. Now, with this being said, I am not God, so I don't know who's going to understand this. I don't know who's not going to understand this, but if you do understand this lesson, maybe you are the chosen one. Maybe you are one of the people who is meant to understand. And if you don't, maybe you have a little bit more life, a little more experience to get into before you can start learning this powerful teaching. Now, the thing about the spiritual world is this is probably one of the most powerful teachings you will ever learn in life. And it's not coming from me. I mean about the whole genre, and I'm not talking about just me. But the whole genre of getting into your spiritual self is probably one of the most powerful things because it changes your whole reality and everything you do. It changes the way you see things. It changes the way how you live this earth, right? Now, for me, this is me, as your little, as the creator of Pupism, I don't know what that's called, a creator of a religion, but as your King Pup, I don't have any spiritual experience, kind of. Right? I never did any meditation. I never really learned into it or delved deep into it. So I'm going to be fresh just like you, going on my own journey. But I do have some things that maybe I accidentally delved into the spiritual world, but I'll get into that later in the video, probably towards the end. But anyway, let's get into this teaching. But I just want to say one more reminder before we go on, that this could change the whole way you perceive life. This is some powerful shit. So if you're not ready for that, or you're cool with how you are, then you probably wouldn't be at this episode, right? You probably would have stopped at episode 0 or 1. But if you're watching episode 4 and you're doing it correctly, the way the Pupism plan, every week you watch the video, every week you practice the stuff, then I think you are ready. You know what I mean? So let's go learn this shit, because I mean the whole point we're here is because we want to change everything about us, right? We didn't like the person we were, so let's go into it. Okay, so now, past an egotistical mind, past a colorful, beautiful earth, we enter the universe. Now, the thing about the universe and us humans is, in this life, we live through a three-dimensional world, right? We perceive everything through 3D, 3 dimensions. The universe is multidimensional, so that means we can't see some stuff that the universe holds, or can we? So no, actually, we can't see other dimensions. We are humans. But what we can do is we can feel it. Now, have you ever, has someone ever looked at you like you felt like someone was looking at you? Or have you ever felt like you had a feeling, like a gut feeling, like something's off or something's about to happen? This is called energy, aka frequency. aka vibes, vibration, right? We all say like he has a good vibe, or that's a good vibe, you know, frequency, energy. I'm pretty sure they're all like similar, you know, under the same category. So your spirit is your energy. Your spirit is what frequency you are on. But in the physical world, you cannot measure this. You cannot see it. You cannot take a test sample of this, but you can feel it. Now, everything in life, or everything that has life on this world, has energy, right? Has a spirit. So like the Native Americans had spirit animals, you know what I mean? Plants, they live, you know, they have life because they also die. So they also have their own spirit. So let me give you an example, because you know I love examples. We got the popular kid in high school, and then we got the hoodie kid in high school that, you know, puts his hoodie on, takes a nap on the desk, just chilled out. People don't even remember he's there because he's in the back of the class taking a nice nap for 45 minutes, right? Now, the thing about these two people is you could feel the type of energy they give off, right? When the popular kid walks in the room, people could kind of feel that. When this kid walks into the room, bro, you could kind of forget, like you don't even really notice sometimes. You forget that he's in the back of the class. You know what I mean? And why is that? It is because of the frequency they are on. Now, this is the graph of frequency. And as we can see at the top, you have enlightenment. At the bottom, we have shame. Now, this is saying what kind of frequency you are based on your emotions. Now, frequency does vary. It does go intermingle. It doesn't go like up and down like 1020. More like maybe like this, you know, more like slower. So based off your spirit, this is how you're going to perceive whatever you're doing or whatever you're doing in your day, right? So if you're at a high level, and you're at a taco truck and like they make the wrong order, you're going to be like, it's cool, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I'll take chicken, I want a steak, whatever. But if you're down here and you got the wrong order, you're about to probably trip out because you're just at a low frequency. Your energy, your spirit is just not doing good. Okay, so now that we identified what the spirits are, we need to also have a new concept. And this is a Pupism concept, that we are living in heaven and hell at the same time. This life is so beautiful and so complex, and whoever created this game did such an amazing job, because we are literally living in heaven and hell at the same time. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, most people are sad and most people are thinking life is ass, but that is because, like the Christian church says, we are born sinners, right? We are born with pride, greed, wrath, envy, gluttony, sloth, and lust, right? So if you're stuck in these human feelings, because those are human emotions, we are born humans, you're probably going to be starting out in low frequency. Now, the frequency is important because that is your experience in life. Anything you do, anywhere you go, any person you meet, the energy that you bring is what attracts them. What's the first thing you see, the first thing they see is what you attract, is what they attract. This is why energy in the spirit world is very important, because you don't just get opportunities, you don't just get lucky in life. It's what you attract from you, you know, the laws of attraction. Now, the thing is, most people are sad. It's because they are caught up in a lot of human concepts, you know, like I need a Jeep to be happy, I need gold, I need rich, I need all this, I need bitches. But then when they get it, they're not happy. They chase for more and they chase for more. You know, like you got 5,000 subscribers, then you got 50, then you got 1 million, then you want 2 million, then you want 10 million. When is it ever enough? It's never going to be enough, because you're not at peace. You're always chasing these sins, and those are why a lot of people are evil in this world. Most people are evil in this world because they are blinded by these sins. They are pulled by their human emotions. Now, that there is some rare people that are driven by love, that anything that happens to them, you know, they could be in an apartment with their family and it could be a lovely family. It could be a lovely vibe. You know what I mean? That is because love is the answer. How to get away from this is you got to let go of these sins. You know what I mean? You got to let go of these human concepts that they trick you with. You know what I mean? The view count, the likewise, how many friends you got. It's not, and this is why I'm saying Pupism, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. We're all living the same life, but it's how you're going to live this life. Are you going to live it through a hellish experience because life is ass and life is hard? Or are you going to see it with peace and everything's going to be okay? We are all connected. And that is how you reach heaven on earth. That is how you reach a state of heaven. Everything's going to be fine. Everything will be okay because tomorrow always comes and yesterday was always yesterday. You cannot change the past. But what you can change is you inside. It's how you experience these things. You know what I mean? Something can happen to one person and they could be like, whatever. The same thing can happen to another person and they could be like, this is the end of my world. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And even more evidence that the physical world is the least important and the spiritual world is the most important is that even celebrities go through, they off themselves. Even celebrities go through depression. Even celebrities that have everything in life still are not satisfied. It's because they are not spiritually okay. So how do you get spiritually okay? Well, the human body is meant to be evolving all the time, right? So it's not like, basically you set your own goals. And if you feel like inside, like if you believe inside that you're going towards those goals, your body's going to be going up. Your frequency is going to go up. If you're not doing that, then you're going to be at a low state of frequency. So what are some activities that are low state of activity? Shame, guilt, fear, grief. Do you have depression, anxiety, or are you just trapped in this low tier of frequency? When you're jerking off, that's like one of the lowest activities of frequency you could do. So if you do that often, what do you think your soul is going to react? The only way to go up, there's examples in the physical world. Like when you go work out, you feel like, okay, now I'm doing better. Well, it's because your frequency, your body is feeling like it's evolving, like you're doing something productive, you're going towards a goal, and your frequency is arriving. And usually that brings other stuff with it too. But if you do the bad stuff, you're going to be trapped. You're going to be trapped in a cycle, and then it's going to become hell. Your life is going to be in hell. But you could be in purgatory too. You could be, that's the current state that we are in right now. That we were a broken, sad person, and now we are trying to achieve this God level ism. We are in purgatory. Now, for those who haven't read Dante's Inferno, basically it's a 3-part story where he starts in hell, he sees the different layers of hell, then he goes to purgatory where people are trying to expel their sins and to be accepted into heaven, and then there's a heaven book where he finally joins heaven. So if you don't know that concept, purgatory basically is the state of you're in between hell and heaven, and you're trying to wash off your sins, or you're trying to make right of your sins that you did do in the past. This right now, session 4 of Pupism, we are in purgatory because the last 2 sessions we already have identified our problems, our sins that we have with ourselves, if you did it correctly, right? So now what we're trying to do is wash them away, because people make mistakes, shit happens. Wash them away, and we're trying to prove to God, but really we're trying to prove to ourselves, because we're trying to be a God, that we are meant for more, that we are meant to be enlightened, that we are meant for peace and love, because we are humans and that is what we can achieve. And I believe that we will achieve that. But just understand the state, that the identification of the present time that we are right now. We are trying to wash away these sins. So if these demons keep calling you back, I know you can fight them off, my boy. So everything derives from frequency, from who you attract, from how you determine somebody. Like in the first 5 seconds of seeing somebody, you could kind of tell the vibe that they're on. You know what I mean? Like I have a very good tell on reading somebody just by the first, like how they present themselves, how they act, the first things they say in a group, alone, all that is just reading their energy, reading their vibe. And you can see the truth of somebody when you look in their eyes. But a lot of people believe that we only have 2 eyes, because we see that in the physical world. But the reality is we also have a third one. Now, in terms of the physical world, inside our brain, in the front, I believe in the front towards the middle, we have a small gland called the pineal gland. Now, that gland is also in animals, and I believe that some animals even have, like, how the eye has like water? Some animals even have like a little water in them that they can see. Basically, the pineal gland attracts light or perceives light, and when it is activated, it releases chemicals, and these chemicals are similar to like DMT or like mushrooms. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys ever took those type of psychedelic drugs, but you start seeing shit. The pineal gland could produce that naturally. Now, I'm not saying that we're gonna be out here drugged out. What I'm saying is that is the gateway to the truth. That is the connection between this physical world and the spiritual world. Now, if that is the case, why are we not taught that? Why are we not taught that? If that is the truth of this world, why are we not taught that? I think my theory is if someone that doesn't have a good heart finds out these secret powers in this earth and keeps it to themselves, because we know most people are evil, most people have greed, they wouldn't want other humans to know, because if these humans became gods, they probably are going to disrupt their plans, and their plans are probably stealing money or whatever they got going on, whatever hidden agenda they got going on, and they don't want that. So it's a lot easier if they're living this high life and they have these secrets, and the other people are blinded by all this shit that doesn't make sense. You know, all this fake reality show that we see with only two eyes. But once you see the third eye, you realize that everything, a lot of shit in this life that we learned is like baloney. We'll get into this a little bit later, but a lot of stuff in this life is designed, or at least in the American culture, is designed to keep us at a low frequency. Because if we are at low frequency, then we just gotta keep doing to live and, you know, pay the rent, pay the food, pay the groceries for the kids, you know what I mean? We will never achieve nothing in life, and that is what they want because they have all the leisure, all the luxury. You know, people are evil. They don't have a good heart. So now that we see past their tricks, the real question is, how do we activate our pineal gland, our small little pineal gland? Also, please feel free to search up all these terms, you know, like pineal gland, what it does when it's activated, where it's located, because I probably not relaying the best information. So please be free after the video to search up all these key terms. We're gonna have a long list towards the end of the video with a lot of things that you can search up and you can study for your own purpose. But these are the facts that I am presenting to you. Also, Joe Rogan is a very popular podcaster and he has a lot of theories about DMT. Now, me personally, I never took DMT and I never had an experience like that. So I don't know what kind of thing is going on, but a lot of people say that they have like out-of-world experiences. Maybe it's the connection to the spirit world, you know what I mean? But if we could produce it naturally, maybe people in the past were using it to find more answers, you know what I mean? To find more self-answers or more answers in how to advance. Now, a closed third eye means you are only using two, which most of our lives probably we have already did that, right? We already fucking discovered what using two eyes is. Using two eyes, you only see a controlled reality, right? Everything is changing. Like the submarine shit, no one talks about that shit. Drake and Kendrick, it was so popular, now no one talks about that shit. You know, like Trump just got shot, and then Biden dropped out, and then no one talked about the Trump shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy what's going on. The reality just changes every single time. There is no conviction in anybody. Like, there's nothing at the end of the day to be proud of because you are just being mind controlled. Now, the thing is, when you open your third eye, you're going to be seen as weird or like you lost your mind because everyone else has two eyes. They're going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Now, when you open your third eye, everything's going to be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, every single thing you see is going to be like wrong. It's going to be, everything's going to be fucked. You know what I mean? So this is why I say this is a dangerous power, because literally everything in your reality is going to be changed. From eating McChicken, it's going to go from, well, you know, like, I'm hungry, let me go get like 2 or 3 McChickens, you know, it's only like $4, to like, what do you think this chicken is? How many, like, let me ask you a question. How many chickens are there in America? Or how many McDonald's are there in America? How many people order McChickens every day? How many chickens do you think there is in America, right? Like, there is so many fucking McDonald's that they sell every single day. How is there that many chickens that we kill every day and cook? How the fuck does fast food, like, how is it ready in less than 2 minutes through a drive-thru? I never got that shit. You just microwave that shit and it's ready? Like, what the fuck? Is that shit chicken? And of course, with great power comes great responsibility. So if you are gonna go down this journey, you need to keep yourself grounded and keep everything simple. Do not lose yourself, because it is very easy to drown in this new ass pool that you discovered. You know what I mean? You discovered a new lake. You want to go swim in it because it's warm, it's clean, it's fresh, it's new than anything you ever seen. It's probably intriguing you because you are a human. You have that inside you and it's probably leading you towards that. But do not go crazy because you're going to end up drowning. And you do not want to drown. You need to keep yourself level-headed at all times. I promise you. With that being said, we need to almost rethink everything that we've learned in this life. Like, school doesn't even really make sense. Why would you go to college to pay for something, a lot of money for a certain subject, and they're still teaching you these other subjects that don't even relate to what you're trying to learn? Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? A lot of this shit is to keep you distracted, to keep your energy. They're trying to take your energy from you. If you don't have time to work on yourself and you only give to other people, right? If you're under a job, you work 9 to 5, you come home, you don't got time to cook dinner, to show love to your family. You don't got time for that shit because your energy is drained. And it's not even for you because they're going to lay you off right when you're old or when they got other people that want to come in. It's a trick. A lot of this American thing is a trap. So be mindful because you still need to live in this reality. You know what I mean? You don't want to lose your mind. You still got to live in this reality. So just be patient. The good news is that we win. The good news is that love always wins and that the truth will set you free. I don't want to spoil the book for you, but God beats the devil. So do not have any fear. Okay, in this physical world, it might be a little tough, might be harder to be more alone. You're going to feel a lot more alone if you see all these truths around you. but know that the spiritual world, your spirit, is a lot more important than what's going on in this life right now. There are so many other lives that you are going to live, because the universe is always expanding. Time is infinite. I can't even really understand. I can't even explain to you exactly how it is, because I don't even fully understand it. I'm a young 22-year-old living on this earth, and everything is coming at me at the same time it's coming at you. So we just got to be patient. But the good news is that we win at the end. But before I go to the key terms, I just want to talk to you, like, as a person who grew up in American society. Why were we never taught any of this? Why were we never taught any self-love? Why were we taught stuff that we do not use for 12 years of our life and then expand into college? You know what I mean? Like, why do you think this shit happens? It's not the teacher's fault, because they're just following a paper that someone gave them the paper, that gave them the paper, that gave them the paper. There's so much time to be distracting us so that we don't connect to our inner selves. Do you not realize that we feel depressed and anxiety and all these stuff? Maybe because of a certain event. Yes, maybe I almost tripped. But it's also because we never learned how to deal with these thoughts. We never learned how to deal with self-love. Why is that not, if that's the most important thing? You have to ask yourself, like, a lot of questions will lead you to the answer. Ask yourself these questions, because there's so many things that is like not how I would do it, and I'm only 22. So if these older, older rich people got the right answers, how the fuck is this shit system so fucked up? You know what I mean? Like, just ask yourself these questions. And maybe this is just hypothetical thinking. Maybe this is God's plan. This is his big plan. This is like a video game. This is how I see this life. It's like a video game. In the beginning of the video game, there is always a conflict, and there is always a hard struggle to be in that conflict. But at the end of the video game, when you succeed, you win, right? Everything is good. Maybe this is just how this life is set up. Maybe this life is set up for evil people to be controlling everything, just so you can see this video. And for some reason, I'm thinking of these words, putting it online for you to watch, so we can enlighten ourselves, become gods inside of ourselves, and positively use people to break everybody free. Life does not have to be like this. Life does not have to be someone controlling us. People have theories that this is like a prison planet, that we're just recycling, and they're just taking our souls. I don't believe in that. I believe that this life is like a video game, and I see Bowser, and I'm about to go hit him with a fucking red shell. Matter of fact, hit him with a blue shell. Mario Kart shit. Okay, so now we have a couple of key terms that I will be studying and researching more, but I advise you that you also search and do your own research. We got karma. So karma is real. They say I have a karmic cycle. So be a good person, or else you're gonna attract bad stuff. Pretty simple, but you should always be a good person. Third eye, demons and angels, things that you kind of know the basis of, but you should really like delve into it. It gets real interesting, I promise you. The sun moon cycle, the astral world is like the spirit world, what they say is like below us or something. I don't know. We gotta search it up. Chakras, people are into chakras. They have like the 7 things and what they say about you and connects to your spirit. Self-exploration, we got matrix, like pretty simple terms. Astrology, like, do the stars mean some shit? Does the space mean some shit? Spiritual warfare, we've heard that key term is like a hot term nowadays. Some ancient civilizations that we could search up and see that they have some evidence of connecting to their inner selves, which enlighten them and rise them above other civilizations. We got the Buddhas, which are pretty big. We got the ancient Egyptians with the pyramid and shit, The monks are pretty impressive, So I'm gonna try to do all the studying. You also got some people that you could watch that talk about this shit. I got large, medium, and small for you. Large is obviously Tate. He was like the first big person before, like maybe like Alex Jones talks about this shit, but he was like the first person trying to wake people up. We'll talk about the word woke, but he was the first person trying to wake people up. He was pretty smart because he did like a Trojan horse type of strategy. He covered like the truth with some bullshit, and like we like bullshit because the media loves entertainment, all the drama. So he covered it with bullshit to get everyone to view it, and then if you really like look into it, like he's spinning the truth. So that's why I didn't fuck with him. So Illuminati, look at his spiritual channel. He just talks like he's raw about it. He's not really teaching. He's just talking about his experience and his spiritual awakening, his spiritual journey, which is pretty interesting to watch. Neuroscience, I think it's neuroscience, but his name is Nero. He's like a British black YouTuber with a tank top and a whiteboard. He actually gave me the idea of using a whiteboard, so shout out to the British homie, But he be talking about how to rise you up, and he breaks it down pretty good. He's a good YouTuber. But But the word woke is kind of because if your third eye is closed, you kind of are sleeping. Reality isn't what it, reality is always changing. Someone is manipulating it. When you wake up, like you see the truth and you realize the reason we're on this earth, or the reason that we should be living, you don't want to go back to sleep. Once you get a taste of the real life, you don't want to go back to the bullshit. You don't want to do none of that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I promise you. I think it's always important. Most of pupism is learning by yourself and has to evaluate. Rise yourself higher. But I think it's also important to study the earth, study what happened before, because other people has probably been through these things. We have a very modern ideology of like back then people were struggling because it was back in time. I don't know. Do you believe like this earth is 100 million years old? Do you think that 2024 is the most advanced we've ever been? Like, I don't know. I don't know. You have a lot of questions. This type of spiritual awakening, when you start thinking about this shit. I mean, I've always been like this, but what I'm saying is like once you see these terms and once you research this stuff and you realize like that could be the truth, you have so many questions. So you could go on and on and on about these questions. Like, is this real? Like, why is this set up like that? Oh, is that why it's like that? So we don't bam, bam, boom, you know what I mean? So that's a surface level overview of spirituality. I bet there is so much more that we could delve into, but since I am new and you are new, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it slow as always. But back to our question, identifying our present stats. And I ask you the same questions. I ask you the exact same questions. What do you believe in? Who are you? Do you know who you are? And this big question is, who do you worship? And when I say that, I don't mean what's your religion? Are you wearing jewelry? Do you have a tattoo of God? But you only see him during Mother's Day when your mom want to go. But all the other Sundays, you're like, nah, I'll skip it. I'm good. You're not worshiping, bro. Even if you say you worship him, bro, like, you're lying. I'm talking about every single day, where does your mind go to? Who do you let control you? Who do you look up to? And who do you let manipulate you? It's probably your phone if you're growing up in American society. I don't know how the rest of the world is because I live in America specifically. It's a lot of times it's your phone. Do you listen to some artist every single day and you jam his thing? You probably worship him, bro. You know what I mean? The real goal is to worship ourselves. That we rise far enough that we are the gods. That we worship ourselves. And I don't mean like we're doing stuff for our wants. That's some human shit. We're not trying to be humans and puppets. I'm saying that we should do the sacrifice of going through this hard shit and looking at as weird and opening to see the truth, so that the future people that we have, our family, our future kids, don't have to do that shit, because we're going to become good men. You know what I mean? We're doing the hard work that we wish someone else did before us, so that we weren't in this situation, that we were broken, that we were sad, that we were low frequency. You know what I mean? And I believe in us. We're going to be able to get there with each other together. Okay, so now that we identified our current spiritual stats, the next question is, how do we build a strong spiritual conviction? And the first step, as always, is you gotta clean right. Now, how exactly do you clean your spiritual soul? Well, the first step is forgiveness. You need to forgive, but what are you forgiving? You need to forgive the people around you. You need to forgive any situation that happened in the past, any trauma. And you need to forgive yourself, most importantly. It's okay that things have happened. People make mistakes. A lot of people are misguided. You know what I mean? And it's hard to forgive. I know it's the hardest thing to forgive, but it's the number one thing if you want to rise up. If you want to rise up, you gotta forgive. You cannot hold any grudges. You cannot hold anything down in your soul. Go talk to that person. And usually it goes two ways. You can forgive somebody and try to build a relationship with them if they're willing. And if they're still on the same bullshit, that the reason that you need to forgive them in the first place, you just gotta forgive and let go. And I know that's hard, because you got friends that you love, you got family members that you love, situations that you just cannot forget. But I promise you, you just need to forgive. Have it in your heart. Make the sacrifice. And on the topic of forgiveness, I forgave a lot of people because, about a year ago, like I was going through my own things, before I had the pupism and everything. But there's one person I didn't forgive, and one time it was my old best friend in high school. He did some shit that I did not rock with, pertained with my old girlfriend, and just violating bro code, violating just good person shit. And I'm very easy to cut somebody off. Everybody else I forgave, every situation before, I'm cool with, but I never said, bro, like you probably grew up misguided, you were just a kid, so I'm gonna do my own forgiveness. I'm gonna send him a little text. I'm gonna literally just say, I forgive you, and just let it be. Even though I haven't thought about him in like 5 years, he sent me like a couple of texts, like between 5 years, he probably sent me like 3 or 4 texts, you know, like long paragraphs, like, come on, bro, because we used to be close, you know, there was love there. But, you know, I'm gonna do my part in forgiveness, and I'm gonna also forgive. Now, the next step, as always, is eat right. Now, how do you feed your soul? Well, it's kind of simple, it's kind of not, but basically, just be around good energy, you know, places that you enjoy, places where people enjoy you and they give you a smile and they give you love. You know, the thing about this energy and spirit is people could drain your energy. People could take your energy from you. They could drain your spirit, you know. Like, energy could be taken, it could be stolen, it could be, you know, you gotta watch out for these parasites. They affect your frequency. Same thing with the food that you eat. This is why I put you on a plan so far, because all that stuff you eat, a bad animal that was suffering before it died, like, it had energy. Energy never goes away. It just gets transferred, you know. So this is why I try to stay you away from fast foods and all that and bad habits, because that's just bad energy and it lowers your frequency. So watch out for people who drain, but you could also give good energy. The same way that people could take your energy, you could give energy. So spread love and positivity to your neighbors. You know, when you go outside for a walk, give them a smile, give them a hey, like, how you doing? You know, just good vibes, you know, like, bring it out. And of course it's hard. You can't just flip cold turkey. Just practice it a little bit. Just slow and simple as always. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy, nothing crazy. At the end of the day, we are all connected as one. We are all together. We are humans, even animals in this earth. This is our earth that we live together in. So there is no point in trying to bring people down, trying to tear people down. We need to move forward with love. Show love, move with love, and act with love. That is the only way that we are going to achieve a higher level of earth, a higher level of civilization, a higher level of society. It's for your family, it's for your friends, for the people you like, for the people you don't like. It's the ultimate sacrifice, but it's easy. You know, it should be not hard to move around with a frowny face. Instead, smile away, you know, and feel that peace and happiness, because it's contagious. Once you start doing it, maybe two other people do it, and now you're in a little group. Maybe that attracts 2 other people, and then you start multiplying. You know what I mean? What we see today nowadays is everyone got the combo. Like I said, they got the anxiety, they got the depression. You know, like, it spreads. It spreads, man. Like, spread that love, man. Spread that love. Do y'all have any guesses for what the third one could be? You're wrong. It's move left. Now, I say that because you are now on your own journey. I don't know where the fuck you're gonna go, what the fuck you're gonna do, but you know, because you have the answers inside of you. So do not move how everyone else is moving. Trust your instinct, trust your feeling, because I know that you have the answers, and the God inside of you knows exactly where to point you. So do not follow the rest of the people. Move left. And the thing is, like, if you've been following this pupism correctly, you've been doing it weekly, following the videos, practicing the practice, I tricked you, because you already been on your own journey, right? If this spiritual journey is like the American grade system, kindergarten to 12th grade, we are now graduating kindergarten, we are entering 1st grade. It's a long journey to go, nice and slow, nice and simple, a light, slow burn. But I tricked you, because now we developed good habits already in the physical world that we know: exercise, eating right, taking away the bullshit that we distract our minds with. We no longer need to be sedated. Now this is where the fun goes, because now it's like, we don't know what's gonna happen next. You know, I mean, this is the exciting part of the movie, the exciting part of the video game, where it's like, okay, I got it, you do this, that. Now we're about to enter some new shit. You know what I mean? So be excited, move slow. Like I said, nothing crazy at all. Some exercises you could do to practice your inner self. Meditation. We're gonna start nice and slow, just 5 minutes of meditation every day. You know, nice and slow, slow and slow and slow. Yeah, but the goal is to find peace. The goal is to find yourself, your real self, the inside of you. And please listen very, 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 very. Do not go and rush and do rituals that open your third eye, because you are not ready for that. We need to go slow, nice and peaceful. If you spam it, like I said, if you jump right on it, I don't know what's gonna happen to you, bro, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's something good. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same way as the exercise. If you disregarded your body for 2 years and now you're exercising for a month, you can't expect your body to be top tier after 2 years of doing nothing and then 1 month of doing something. If we live 20 years without no spiritual training, and then in 1 week you want to fucking put all the mods in, you know, you can't do that, bro. It's a slow, simple process, but it's a beautiful process. It's life. Welcome to life. We are no longer sedated. We are no longer tricked. We are no longer living for no reason. Depression, anxiety is all gonna leave from us. We are now entering life. Love always wins. This is how you win, and this is how you love. Now, I want to say that I am so proud of you if you've been following these pupism every week, you've been practicing your practice, and you feel like you've done it correctly. You definitely feel different. I mean, look back to the first video, the Pupism Session 0. Like, I am so different from the Harry from last month. It's only been a month, you know what I mean? And I bet that you are feeling a lot different from how you started, if you've been doing it correctly. So I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited for the journey that we are going to take together. Please, down below, put your license plate in your journey. How's it going? Are you excited for the spiritual shit? Is it kind of freaking you out? It could be intimidating. I don't know. But anyway, now I'm going to tell you my spiritual journey from before 22. So I never had anyone spiritual in my life. I had an immigrant family growing up. My mom came from Ecuador, so she wasn't really aware of the American culture. She was just trying to work, give us the opportunity so we could be free and do the things that we want to do. She wanted me to go to college. She wanted me to do a lot of American stuff, the American way. So this type of teachings were nowhere where I was when I was younger. But I think I might have accidentally did some of these practices or some of these rituals because when I was younger, I used to think to myself a lot. I used to be alone a lot. I also played a lot of soccer. I did a lot of running. And if you know about running, you know about runner's high. Especially in track. When we did track, we did long miles of jogging, but fast jogging, I guess running. And I would always get in a zone, right? That's why I think I'm a little autistic, because I get in a zone where I kind of deep into the hallways of my mind, you know what I mean? And I just talk to myself. But I always talk to myself. I remember since I was like 7, 8, even like since I was 5, I remember the thoughts I used to think to myself, like the conversations I used to have with myself. And now that I'm thinking about it, if last session was true, that the thoughts come from our soul, maybe I just talk to my soul in conversations. But I was always aware, always conscious. I just had a lot of human emotions that barricaded me. You know what I mean? They always held me back. I was a shy kid growing up. I didn't really talk to anybody. I had a couple friends, but in terms of spiritual stuff, I never indulged in any of it. When I was in middle school and higher, I would go to school, not because I liked school, but because the only way I could play soccer after school was if I went to school. If not, I had to stay home all day, and I did not want to stay home at all. So I would leave school and then go directly to the field in the back, and I would play until the sun goes down. So every day I would play for like 5 hours, 8 hours if you want to exaggerate, and that's a lot of time to spend alone. So I probably thought and went through a lot of own things, self-exploration through a lot of times, because that's the years of a young person. I used to wake up really early, like 5 a.m. before anyone else was awake, and I would walk to the fields. I would walk by myself, because my mom was a busy woman. When she gave me rides, she was really good at giving me rides, but when I wanted to be alone or I wanted to walk, I always did it by myself, and I would just always talk to myself. I would rarely have headphones in because I loved the experience of life. I loved being in the neighborhood. I loved just like hearing peace. I also loved eating greens, which is kind of rare. I don't really see people like dying to eat the greens, but I would always finish the salad bowl. Like at the end of dinner, I would always eat that salad bowl, even if I was full. So maybe that's just like life coming into me. I don't know. But yeah, other than that, I met God 2 times. I talked to God 2 times. One was during Christmas of last year, 2023. Basically, we had a long Christmas party at my cousin's. We came home. It was like late at night, maybe like 10 o'clock. I had a little bit of a J left, so I wasn't even stupid high. I smoked the J, and then I just got this presence, this energy, this feeling, right? Knowing this stuff now, that's how I would describe it. It was just this presence of understanding, of peace, of just like everything started clicking. And I always think, I've thought of everything probably like 100 times, So I started thinking new thoughts, and then it started connecting. And I was listening to 21 Pilots, shout out to Tyler, shout out to Josh too. I was listening to the self-title, 21 Pilots. And one of the last songs is Trees. So I was going through the whole album, you know, high, just doing my thing at night. I was kind of tired, but kind of not. And then I just, these emotions, this presence just came on me, this energy, and I just felt it right away. And I was like, wow. And then if you know the lyrics of the video, it was almost like he was talking to me. And I even asked him questions, and he answered them right back to me, and they were the right answers. And one of the questions I asked him is, how do I do it? Like, how do I live this life? And he said, you have the answers, you know, because I believe in that. I believe that we all have our own answers. Now, was it the universal God that he really come down to that car and tell me? Because the song name was Treason. I was under a tree, you know what I mean? There's also some light symbolism, you know, like headlights and shit like that. But that shit was crazy, man. That shit was crazy. That's the first time I ever met God, you know, I felt God. The second time was a little lighter. He didn't really tell me any answers. It was more like I was in a really bad place. I was in my car, listening to my own music, my own lyrics. And then at the right time, this presence came during this song, and it just realization again. It's always realization and epiphany. And one of the lyrics in my songs is "Look to the sky and apologize." And I looked up, and it was a clear sky, but there was one cloud that was a heart shaped. It was a heart shaped cloud, and I was like, "Damn, bro!" I was crying already, but you know, I was like, "Damn, bro!" I felt the homie right there. I dapped him up. I was like, "Thank you," and then it started storming crazy, started raining crazy. And that was a cool experience. I see him every now and then. I'll be like, dap him up, be like, oh, that's God right there. I can see that shit right now. I dap him up, you know, give him a little fist bump, everything like that. But yeah, but I'm excited to do this meditation, get into the inner me, see what's going on. Nice and slow burn it, you know what I mean, how it go. But now to my homies, you know what I mean, to a little checkup for the week. How's your week going, guys? You know, like 2 weeks of exercise. I think it's been going amazingly. I hope you guys didn't miss any days. I haven't missed any days so far. I've been getting crazy headaches, bro, right here. Like, not on my head. I never get headaches or migraines, but I've been getting crazy, excruciating headaches right here. Kind of my right eye too, a little bit. I don't know if it's from the sun or whatever, but it's just like at the same time too. It's always at the same time. It's always near 1 p.m. and they stop at like 4 p.m. I don't know what's going on, but it was kind of hard to do stuff this week because of the headaches. Usually I like to edit after I work out, but it's all good, make music and stuff. Yeah, this week I'm looking forward to. Weed-wise, I haven't smoked in the last 2 days. I could still do better though. I'm gonna try to do better. I'm gonna try only smoke on Tuesdays. You know, happy Tuesday. Get real happy on Tuesday. Real happy on Tuesday. But yeah, but I don't really have any comments. Like, the most views I'm getting right now is like 10 views on a video, which I'm not really looking at the views because I think it's gonna be a later thing that's gonna happen. So I can't really answer any questions I see in the comments because I don't got any comments. But hopefully in the future there's some comments that I can answer. Let me think if I can think of a future comment. I'm Ecuadorian and Italian. If you ask me where I'm from the East Coast of America, 22. Half Ecuadorian, half Italian. So that's why I feel like my mind's sometimes white. I feel like this is some white type of thinking. I don't think Latinos be thinking like this, but yeah, man, just take it slow, bro. Meditation. We're gonna do some more practices in the future once we get into it. Food wise, exercise wise, I hope everything's going good. I haven't been doing no fast food at all, unless I need to, you know. But other than that, exercise every day. Going every day hard, you know. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. So I've been doing it, squeezing. Make sure you squeeze, you know. If you're not squeezing, you gotta squeeze, you know what I mean? So make sure you do it right, you know. Do it right, you know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to the homies, man. Put down your license plate down below. Tell me your journey so far. So next session is probably gonna be a late little thing, probably, but you know, probably like a month recap because it's about to be a month. Shout out to the homies. I'm about to be 22 for a month, month of pupism. But I think it's been going wonderfully. I don't know if I've ever gone this far without relapsing. So I don't think I'm gonna relapse because I'm excited. So yeah, this is a nice part of life, and I'm happy that I'm exploring this with you guys. I get to record it, and you guys get to see it, do it with me. Yeah, but spread peace and love to your neighbors. You know, spread love. Act with love, do love, be love. You know, try your best. You know, there's gonna be light at the end of the tunnel, and we're on a very good path so far. Sometimes I wonder, like, where do these thoughts, where do these words come from? The idea of recording it, putting it to you guys. You know, like the whole infinite time, the universe is so big, and somehow you're watching me at this moment, and I'm spinning the right words that connects to your minds, that gets you to really see the inner you. You know, is this all part of God's plan? Is this autism? But either way, man, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying my thing. So as I achieve my heaven, hopefully other people can achieve their heaven. And together is always together, always together. You know, we are not separate. We are together, the homies. We could do it together. So y'all have a great week. Y'all have a great happy Tuesday. Go have a happy Tuesday. You know what I mean? And peace out. Yes, sir.